One of the questions I was asking when we were off air, because it's a question that has been bantered around, is residential property tax versus commercial property tax. And the question was being asked, why not start with commercial property taxes? You had a very good reason as to why that should not be. Tell us why it's better to start, in your opinion, with the residential rather than commercial.
Well, I don't think it's better to start. It's more practical for them to start with the residential rollout, which is what they're planning to do.
Yes.
And given that they have so much time, because the rollout will start in 2018, they may be able to do everything at the same time.
Okay.
But collecting data on commercial property would involve a significant amount of resources to go measure all of those buildings and work out annual rental value based on the square footage of the internal spaces. So that's a bit more difficult than doing residential valuations.
A straight house.
Yes, which is a straight house. So for the government, it may be more practical for them to do the residential rollout first. But I agree that it is better that the commercial and industrial ones are rolled out before, because they are the income generators and they are the income earners compared to property owners per se.
Okay.
Just to clarify a point that you raised with respect to the return, yes, it is true that if the return isn't filed on time, people can face a penalty of $500. That is Section 6 of the Valuation of Land Act. With respect to the documents that they are asking for, and it is a very exhaustive list, many people do not have much of this information. It is not necessary that to have all. So what the government is asking for, what the state is asking for, is that any information you have like these, to please submit a copy. So there's no need for property owners to go get a land survey if they don't have one, to go take out photos if they cannot, which I don't believe.
Come on, everybody has a
or to provide a building plan. Many houses were not
floor plans. They want deeds. It's an exhaustive list.
Yeah.
But you tick off which ones you're actually submitting.
Yes. You do not need to submit all. What I suspect is that for property owners who submit most of it, there may not even be a need for an assessor to come to your house. If you give the commissioner as much information as they require, because from my experience, if I have all of this data, I can work out annual rental value.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it that they wanted in pictures inside as well, or just the outside?
They said just external. Yeah.
Okay, just external. Okay, so just bear that in mind. You don't need to go through, and it does say that too as well. Whatever you can supply, and the more I suppose that you can supply, the better it would work out for you. Where you will not have to have an assessor come and see you home as well.
But you have to fill out the return itself.
Yes.
That must be filled out.
Yes, and please bear that in mind, and it's May 22nd.
Yes.
Otherwise, you will be fined $500.
You may be fined.
May be fined $500. Yeah. Right. So now using the property tax effectively. What are some of the ways that the government can now use? I mean, we're still in the implementing stages, and they're now gathering information for it to be started. But we need to think ahead.
Yes, we do. Most countries across the world use property tax back into the communities. As a matter of fact, that's what it is for. A property tax is meant to be a tax that is collected based on the increase in value of property due to the government, due to the state's infrastructure and services that they provide. So there must be a direct link between the revenues generated and the provision of services to communities. That this is paving of roads, drainage, access to utilities, mail delivery, garbage collection, all of these services that the state provides to private property. That is where the money should go back into. And it is my thinking and my view that we should be consistent with progressive countries if we are trying to put in place a progressive tax system, that the money goes to the local government institutions. As a matter of fact, in many countries, they collect it themselves directly. So this money could be used to give the local government some degree of fiscal autonomy, so that they no longer rely on central government resources to meet their mandates.
But there has been the drive of late, I mean, especially when the minister went around to the various local government, to the communities, basically to localize local government, so that they will have that autonomy, so that they will not have to report to central government. There has been that drive to make it so. So it hasn't really been done yet, but I'm sure you would have been aware of that drive.
Yes.
Yeah, so actually this would work really well with respect to that.
Yes.
Now, I have seen many people on Facebook, you know, they are complaining about this. People are concerned about it and everything, the property tax coming. But what you mentioned, that's what most people are hoping that it will be used for.
Yes.
to help the communities.
Yes, I think if people see that the money is working for them, if people see that, okay, I'm paying a large increase since I was paying land and building. Now, land and building was peppercorn rates.
Yeah.
I'm paying now a larger sum of money, but I'm getting better access to services from the state. My garbage is collected more often. My roads are resurfaced when needed, not just before an election. And then they would be more cooperative with the system. People will want to pay tax. And this is one of the problems that I've been seeing with the state, is that they're not packaging property tax as it should be. And that is causing a lot of public anxiety. People are seeing it as a burden. Property tax has the potential to be a very, very positive driver of community development and community improvement. And if we package it like that and educate the public that this money is coming back to you, is coming back to your community to benefit your property, which will further add to the value of your property, then people will support it.
Another thing too is that the tax that was formerly taxed on citizens was very unequal.
Yes.
Because you would find sometimes people living in the Valsyn area paying much less than maybe someone living in the San Juan area.
Right.
So there was that inequality as well, which they're trying to level off.
Right. Well, the new tax act says 3% across the board. Before, they had previous rates for different districts.
Yes.
And those rates were determined in the 1960s and were not changed since then. So it should be a more equitable system, across the board.
People are concerned, they're scared, they're afraid of should there be any
No,
of
I don't
this
think
really?
there should be a cause for concern, but I can see the reason why there's public anxiety, and that is because the state isn't giving people enough information. They need to have more public education drives to tell people, yes, it is higher than land and building taxes, but it's not as much as you think, right? If you have a regular 3-bedroom flat house in central Trinidad, for example, more than likely your tax would be in the vicinity of $1,000 a year, right? In some cases of vacant land, the tax can be $300-400 a year. So it is not as much as people are anticipating. And there are also individuals who are fearmongering